Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. Tonight we finish off Week 6 with a good Monday nighter, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the LA Chargers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff, as we'll start at the 25.
Ray. Set.
Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. He finds his target, Allen. A big play there on the first play of the game. 44 yards.
I've heard of quick-spec offenses, but this is taking that to the extreme. I mean, the very first snap of the ball game, normally you're thinking, let's get our quarterback comfortable and get him into the flow of the game, but not here. They come out attacking from the outset, and it pays off in a big way.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed that went right into the game plan. Attack them early, see if they're going to play any better. And if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
Herbert operating from the red zone. He's got Allen. Touchdown! Keenan Allen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. first time in 2022. Here's Tony Pollard. And he did not want to go down there as he carries tacklers for a solid gain of 9.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Prescott to throw it. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Prescott now. Drops this underneath for Pollard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Here's Prescott. That's caught inside the 20. A big play here for Dallas. 42 yards.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Brandon Cooks, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Charger drive about to get going. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over a little.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Darius Davis, 79 yards. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 5.
Count. 27. Sweat. Hey.
Throwing. Prescott. He finds his man, Pollard. He's to the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 73 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Herbert changing things up.
Go.
On 2nd and very short. Herbert Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
The Chargers at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. They come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to.
Here's a quick throw caught by Allen. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They pitch it to Eckler. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
All that blown up by DeMarvion Overshown.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports.
Second and 14.
Crowd right, crowd right, crowd right.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. And that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in that number, Shannon Sharp, who was a tight end. That's big-time play right there.
Go.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Second and 5.
Once more, here's Eckler. A good move. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Eckler is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Now Herbert, 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
That one was tipped up in the air and fortunately fell away for the defense, because if the offense is able to grab that one, that's a short little jaunt into the end zone because there's not enough reaction time off of a tip ball for the defense to rally and make a tackle. They were very fortunate on that play.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But we think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here.
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On play action, Prescott. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. CD, that's his 2nd touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
59.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Complete to Johnston here. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. Herbert off of play action. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero, but we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Pollard will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Stay on tight.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from home. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Baylor Tiger.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game.
Let's go, let's go.
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. So as they talk it over, we step aside. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
5-9, 5-9. Hey, ram.
Herbert just beat the play clock. And that will be incomplete. So touchdowns on their first 2 drives, but looking like that won't be the case here.
Yeah, it looks like someone put their dukes up a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe decided to finally make a stand, because those first 2 drives, they got run over. Now, finally, got their feet under them, got a little bit of balance. They're getting off the field.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD.
Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. And what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes it a 28-24 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Play action now. Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Prescott. That is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he's fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Davis now to return it. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And we are hitting the home stretch here toward halftime. And to this point, this has been an exciting offensive explosion for both sides.
I think everyone in the stadium is going to have to regroup a little bit, including the two of us. Yeah, I think we have to get a little oxygen, relax a little bit, and see what we can get going for the second half. The same as these teams, because right now everything's working really well. Can someone come up with something to slow them down?
Yeah, both defenses back on their heels. 25 yards that time.
After a string of healthy seasons, injuries finally caught up to Allen again in 2022, but he still managed over 700 yards in 10 games and is in a great spot to become just the second Charger to reach 10,000 career receiving yards. He makes a really nice play there for a first down.
Draw play. It's Eckler. Skirts by him at the 35. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Herbert. And this one too low.
Offense was moving a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left.
Let's go.
Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Second and 10. On the draw, it's Pollard. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 48 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Pollard again, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. That's dumped off to Pollard. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw taken in there by Cooks. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Looking to throw. Prescott. That's to Schoonmaker to tight end. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So the completion good for just 3, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape for the 1st and goal.
They'll run with Pollard. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Pollard again. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Tony Pollard, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They make their 2nd half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a 3-possession game.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. It's Eckler again. And that's going to be good for the Chargers' 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Eckler's long been one of the most underrated players in the NFL, but he's now starting to get his due. 915 yards, a career best last season, with 13 touchdowns on the ground.
Hold me to try. Hey, Ray. Ready?
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 63 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3.
Hey,
Herbert going to change the play here. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. one on the ground with Eckler. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Stephon Gilmore, he was the one defensively there who really blew that play up before it got started.
Set.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Herbert now.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
12.
Herbert.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked up by Malik Hooker.
And the Cowboys will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Tony Pollard with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead.
Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 13.
Hey, OP. Baylor tight. Go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
Going to 54, wide in. Going to 54, wide in.
Pollard going to try the right side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
131 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
We're going to 54. Why 8?
They'll run again with Mason. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
Yeah, they've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down and allowed to throw it anyway.
No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Charger drive about to get going. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and
And now here is another interception. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. On the counter, here's Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
behind the chain, 2nd and 12. They run with a rookie from K-State, Deuce Vaughn.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, there was a trust factor in that call. Turning and handing it to the big man in the backfield, trying to pick up the first down. But how about the defense? They were ready for him, and they were able to stop him.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but
They'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Crowd right.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out?
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Here we go.
And they take a knee. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Dallas, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for L.A., the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs.